Good morning. So you're joining me today in the Peak District, where I'm on my way to Middle Black Clough Waterfall. Now I have tried doing this before. It was in September and I came with my family. A bit of a failed attempt because there were a lot of midges here. Looked absolutely stunning with the heather, but it was a bit of a struggle for my family. So I've come back to try again, and this time hopefully get to the waterfall. So let's make our way there now. Okay, so I've made it to the first part of Middle Black Clough Waterfalls. Now, that's the main one that everybody goes to, but there are some more falls further up which I'll be going to in a minute. The first shot I'm going to get is of that one there. Now I can't get too close at the moment because there's a couple there doing things. So I'm going to try and get an image of the waterfall, not the couple. Yeah, I've had wild swimmers before, but never wild shaggers. The first shot I'm going to get is going to be pretty basic anyway. It's going to be head onto the waterfall, some rocks in the foreground, and just make the best of the fall I've got. Hopefully that image will come out some good. I'll come back to you further up. So, as luck would have it, that couple didn't take too kindly to taking photos of the waterfall with them doing their business, as it were. So, now they've fucked off, been able to get this shot here. I'm actually at the other side. I was on that side before. I'm now on this side facing the waterfall itself. I've got a nice shot looking at the waterfall and looking at the sort of the basin of the waterfall. And once again, I'm on my 12mm manual focus lens, mostly because that's pretty much the best lens for this kind of waterfall. I'm actually loving the detail that's in the walls and these little rock things that people have built. I'll just give you a pan and show you. So some people have built some little rock tower things. They just add a bit of detail to it, they add a bit of character. I would really love to see this waterfall when it's frozen, because I think it'd look quite impressive. Anyhow, the image I've got, looking straight on at the waterfall, got these rocks in the foreground, and I'm making the most of this moss in this gorge that we've got here. Well, I'm going to go from here. I'm going to head straight up. I'm going to see if I can get some photographs of the falls at the top there. Now, if you do come here, it is a hard walk, and it is very sketchy walking up the waterfall here. This is very slippery. I've nearly gone over a couple of times myself, but luckily I've spiked feet on my tripod, so I use them to get a grip wherever I need to. Hopefully this photo will be good. If it is, I'm not coming. If it isn't, I'm not coming back. One way or the other, here it comes. I made it up. Earlier I was down there. I've come up that way, straight up the side of the cliff. Now ideally you are supposed to walk back on yourself and walk up the path. That's the easy route, but I didn't really have time for easy. I wanted to get to the point, so I came to get to the point route, and yeah, it's a bit of a climb, but when you see this business, you'll think it's worth it. Told you that were impressive, didn't I? Now, not many people see this one. Most people go to the bottom falls thinking that's it, and that's the end of the journey. This one, it does take a bit more grit and determination to get up, which is quite a big comment from a fat bloke, but definitely worth it. Now the first shot I'm going for, I'm actually taking a wide angle shot again. I'm looking, I'll turn you around so you can see what I'm looking at. I'm actually looking at the waterfall, I'm doing that kind of composition, so I've got all this slab here in the foreground. And I've just got the waterfall in the background, but none of the sky. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of glare on this rock here. Because I'm on a wide angle lens, the polarizer isn't taking all that off. So I've got a number of choices. I can actually move the polarization to put that glare where I want it and create depth in the image, or I can take multiple shots moving the polarizer and blend them together. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the glare where I want it rather than going to the extra effort of blending a load of images together, because the image I've taken actually does stand on its own, so I'm quite happy with that one. And I am interested on getting on the next shelf there to get a shot looking further up at the waterfall with the smaller one there you can see in the foreground. So while I get my next shot set up, have a look at this one. I've come a bit further up. I'm still on the lower shelf myself, but I've put the camera on the second shelf there. I'm going to try and get another shot a bit close to that waterfall in a moment, but this shot here, I actually wanted to make a bit of a feature of this stonework. I'm loving these stones. I'd hate to slip on them because I'll be straight down the bigger waterfall over there, but the stonework is absolutely beautiful and the texture and detail in it looks phenomenal. It's got just enough moss on it, there's just enough rock showing, and I'm able to take enough of that glare out just to leave some depth in the image. Absolutely loving this one. Now, the water is a very brown colour. That's because of the peat content in the area. That is going to be difficult to deal with later with the white balance. If you go too far one way, you end up too blue. If you go too far the other way, it ends up too deep and rich. So you have to nail that one just right. Now, once I put this image up, the next shot I'm going to try and get is a bit close to that waterfall there, looking with the one in the background. But if that doesn't work out, then I'll actually go further up and I'll get that waterfall in the background there. Okay, so now I've come up a bit further. Now, the shot I wanted on that little fall behind me didn't work out. And the reason it didn't work out is because to get the composition I wanted, I had to set my tripod quite low, and that pushed this smaller fall here, which isn't actually that small, it's a good 15 feet tall, but it pushed it too far back. It made it look like a little dot in the distance with the prominent big waterfall in the foreground, and I didn't want that look. And to get what I wanted, I would have had to raise the tripod in order to achieve the look I wanted, because I still wanted the wide angle look, but I also wanted that to be quite prominent in the image as well. Unfortunately, if I'd raised it up, I'd have lost the wide angle effect on the waterfall down there, so I've given up on that shot. I've come up a bit further. I have to admit, I love how dark and moody these images are turning out on the back of the camera. It's because we're in a gorge here. But the shot I'm going for, if I turn you around and show you, I've got my camera set up in front of me here. I've got this channel of water leading up to the waterfall. And that's kind of the composition I'm going for. I'm going with that channel of water leading up. I'm taking the glare off this with the polarizer. And I've got the waterfall in the background as the main source of interest. Once again, polarizer, controlling where that reflection is to make it how I want it, to create the depth in the image, but to actually lose the glare as much as possible. I don't think there's anything more to be had here. However, I do think there's another waterfall up there, so I'm going to have a look there, see what I can see. If there is another waterfall up there, I'll come back with a composition. If there isn't, I'll come back to end the video. There are other waterfalls further up, but I don't personally feel that they add anything more to the images that I've already got. Not enough to keep hiking up anyway, not this time of day, because it's already getting late. We're about 3 o'clock. I've still got to get down and back before the sun starts going down, and I've got to get home. Got to go home for the missus and the daughter. So I'm going to call it a day here. I'm not unhappy at the images I've got, or the video, to be fair. I think this is going to be a good one, this one. It's also it's a bit melancholy because it's going to be the last time I shoot with the A6300. I'm trading it in for a full frame camera again. I'm going to get the Canon 5D Mark II and the 17-40mm f4 lens. I'm able to do that for under £400, so I think that's going to be a fair trade to get me close to where I want to be. Now later on this year, towards the end of the year, I'm going to get a mirrorless full frame camera. I think I'm aiming at the R5. Jury's still out on that. I'm probably going to change my mind a lot between now and then, but watch this space. It's going to take some saving up. Yeah. Next video you see, if I've got my timing right, the next video you should see should be from South Wales, where I'm going away for a few days to do some wild camping. I've got a couple of wild camping locations to put up, assuming the weather stays as it is at the moment. And more importantly, I'm going to be visiting about 18 waterfalls, so content's going to come thick and fast for the next few months. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and a like, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I don't get much interaction with the channel. It's nice to get here, it's nice to hear your comments. I'll see you in the next one. From Middle Black Clough, bye for now.